Meatloaf. You know Meatloaf, the singer? I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
And I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go!
Welcome
Oh, it's so much different now.
to the Board Game Snobs podcast. We're coming
I know
off
where I'm at.
having our dear friend. He's our dear friend now. Mark
Oh yeah, we're in like Flynn.
Besada.
Besada. Actually, he said however you want to say it. It's fine.
Well, that's why I call it my friend Mark. Me and my friend Mark, who is now, he is of the Board Game Barrage, and we're basically part of their network now.
Oh yeah,
We are
If you come on our show, we're best friends forever.
the Board Game Snobs Barrage network.
We're part of the Gateway Network.
Look, so I've said some things about the Gateway Network in the past.
Yeah.
That were very
You
derogative.
still need to send in our information.
By the time this airs, I will have sent in our
I'll believe
information,
that when I
and
see
I am
it.
I've put out an olive branch to Jeff. You know how I feel about Jeffs, Geoffs, to solve this problem that we've been having. And we're getting there. We're resolving it, and it's fine. So
Why an olive branch? Why does that designate peace?
have you ever seen a fight at the Olive Garden?
Probably on YouTube. I guarantee you can find one.
You
The Applebee's of the Italian food world.
You're thinking of Waffle House. Waffle House is where you go to throw down.
I think if you're going to extend something
There's
that's
breadsticks.
plant related, it should be
Endless.
cannabis.
Endless breadsticks.
You extend a cannabis
not-
leaf,
you can
I
have
think
a
that would
breadstick fight.
that would lead to peace.
All you see is just breadsticks just flying all around the restaurant, just beating people.
Jousting with breadsticks.
Like, get the baguettes. We're going to joust.
You tape them together with lettuce.
Enrique really thought that joke was funny.
Because all I can imagine is just people beating themselves or beating other people with bread. That's amazing.
You like tape bread to your hand and then just like flail about each other with like
you just tape the bread to make a nightly helmet and just wear it.
No, that made zero sense. Why are you going to take bread to your head to make a helmet? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Now, look, we were having a reasonable bread fight discussion up until just then.
Haven't you ever woke up with bread head?
See, Jerry saved it.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
So then, and welcome. The Washington Zoo
Oh, so we're getting off the Olive
has
Garden.
welcomed its very first armadillo pup in its 116-year history.
So they got an armadillo.
Oh, they have a baby.
Armadillo?
Point Defiant Zoo and Aquarium's southern three-banded armadillos, Vespa and Scooter. They made sweet love to each other.
Armadillo.
Scooter armadillos.
That's where you curl up and cry in the cry in the corner, right?
The pup is the first armadillo birth in the zoo since its establishment in 1905. Vespa, the mama, was trained to allow them to give her voluntary ultrasounds throughout her pregnancy. Did you know the southern three-banded armadillo is almost on the endangered list, and that hurts me. It's on the threatened list of species, with the species being in significant decline due to widespread habitat loss. We could lose our mascots.
No, we just go to 9-banded. I mean, people can't tell the difference.
But then nothing else rolls up into an adorable ball.
They do. Don't all armadillos?
No,
kinda
they
roll
do
up in
not.
the ball?
Only the three-banded.
They kind of roll. They all
No,
roll.
they do not.
They
We've
all
went over
roll
this.
a little bit. They all kind of curl. They curl up. They're fine. It's fine.
The three bandits are cute.
They're
the 9 bandits carry leprosy.
Well-
there's a big difference.
Why are
You want a diseased or an adorable?
So I see, just because one is slightly disabled due to its affinity for the plague,
It's a carrier.
you seem to be anti-9-banded.
I am anti 9 bandit. I'm pro 3.
That's hurt many a feelings. You are just hating on an animal that cannot defend itself because its phalanges are rotting off due to some sort of bacterial infection.
Well, I don't have to worry about them turning off the podcast because they ain't got no fingers to do it with.
Okay, so and the armadillo is not our mascot, really. It's that sort of, kind of, right? I mean, it just came about. We just can't let it go. It's like Enrique.
You got to hold on to it.
It just happened.
It's just there.
It's an accident.
I used to hate armadillos.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I thought they were ugly, and they are. They're like
So you still hate them.
They
in
have like
general.
a shell. They're like a tortoise-shelled opossum.
They're basically a possum in a taco shell.
But then I saw the 3-banded, and there's one even smaller, and it's cute. It's actually
the
cute.
pink one?
The little pink one.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
It was adorable.
They look like pigs.
Did you hear?
Armored pigs.
Newsweek reported. Now, this is a couple weeks old, especially by the time this comes out.
Is this fake news?
It was. I don't think I ever found where it was all verified.
Okay.
But Newsweek reported it. Newsweek, I don't know how reliable they are.
Oh.
That a flight attendant named Ainsley Elizabeth posted a TikTok video
Oh.
where she mentioned security having to meet the flight because of a woman breastfeeding a cat. Did you hear that?
I think that was fake.
Oh, it is
Did y'all
fake.
hear that?
It's
That's fake.
literally a
That-
stuffed cat.
That was fake.
Now, I saw a video that was making fun of it,
That's fake. It's got to be fake.
It's
That's
fake.
but it was fake. This has been verified.
Yeah,
That's fake.
It's definitely
Because
fake.
I saw that video, and at first I was real, and then she revealed it was a stuffed cat. And I was like,
Did you
Oh.
see the eyes?
well, you could. It was a dead stuffed cat, but she was breastfeeding it.
Yeah, googly eyes.
Oh my god, that was
You're
hilarious.
like kicking a dead horse. You're breastfeeding a dead cat. It's about the same thing.
Did you know there's a precise speed that they now count as no longer jogging but running?
What is it?
6 miles an hour.
So 6 miles an hour is running.
5.99999, and anything underneath the jogging. Actually, okay, so when is a walk a jog? I think that's all in your form.
3 feet. 3 miles an hour.
Because my wife can walk as fast as I jog.
Well, of course, but I'm saying that's jogging, though. Yeah, you'd have to have a speed. You have to really know the speed. I'd say they should.
Because I can maintain jogging form very slowly.
Anybody can make.
You're just lifting up your knees a little bit higher.
Why are they doing this? Why do we have to? So areas where they say no jogging, they can write you a ticket.
Well, no, I think it becomes because most people say, like some people say, I jog, and some people say, well, I'm a runner.
Oh.
And I think 6 miles, and that's pretty fast. That's
So it's
pretty
like
fast.
all these people who are like faux runners, they're actually joggers.
I mean, I can waddle at 3 to 4 miles an hour. That's a 15-minute
You
mile.
waddle quickly.
And then anything, so 4 to 6 would be jogging, I would say.
I'll go with that.
Sounds reasonable to
This
me.
sounds reasonable. Are you pro runner or pro jogger?
I'm a jogger.
I'm pro jogging. I'm not pro runners.
Running, and that's for more elite athletes than myself.
Running is pretentious. Why are you expending that much energy for no reason? Like you can get the same from walking and jogging. You're just showing off. You have no need to move that fast. Rigge, tell me about your life.
No,
Right.
we're not done yet. Did you know,
Oh my God.
though definitely unsanitary, peeing in a pool might seem harmless for your health. After all, urine's sterile, right? As is chlorine. As it turns out, though, urine and chlorine create dangerous chemicals when combined, are the same chemicals used for toxic chemical warfare.
Right.
And if you breathe it, it could harm your lungs, potentially kill you. Did you know that? Enrique, stop peeing in your pool.
He has a sports pool.
What does that mean?
It's the one where it's deeper in the middle and shallower on the ends.
It's made for pool jogging.
It's made for pool volleyball,
Ooh.
which is why I play volleyball in the summer in the aqua volleyball. Is that what you call it?
You know what? Let's call it aquavol.
Volleyball.
No, that's an awful name.
Anyways,
Water
Aquavol?
polo.
well, it turns into that. But yeah, we put up the net, and that's where we do our volleyball. Is in the water. It's low impact,
Cyanogen chloride is what it's called.
and that's what we call the pool. Let's go get
After Enrique's been in it.
Enrique gets in it. It's not blue. It's the one weird thing about being.
Is that real?
It's more of a
What?
a yellowish lime green.
Is that real, the stuff that turns your pee a color, or is that just like for...
I've never seen it happen. And I urinate in every body of water I come across just to make sure.
You're the reason. Whenever Jerry leaves a hotel, suddenly all the people become sick.
Hazmat.
With cyanogen chloride.
It's like, why are all these people sick? We don't know.
He's a bioterrorist.
That's
going around peeing in the pool.
Disguise.
It just happens. I got to test the waters. Well,
other byproducts called nitrosamines, nitrosamines can even cause cancer. Peeing in a pool, attempted murder.
That's assault.
Assault. You should use that instead of chlorine, and you won't have to worry about it.
Well, his pool is salt water.
Oh, well, then you can pee all you want.
That's why we go there, because we both enjoy peeing in the pool.
And no one notices.
Nobody knows. It's like 1 billion parts per million of urine. Like it doesn't make any difference. So like it's not going to make a difference. So it's like why are you so uptight about it?
Is urine? It is sterile, right?
Yeah, I mean, it comes from your body.
But you're not supposed to drink it.
You can, but it's bad.
Like, yeah, because it's.
But it doesn't hydrate you because there's nothing in it.
Yes.
Well, it's just got a lot of nasty stuff in it. It's all
it's
not
waste.
great.
Oh, well, so it's sterile, but yet it's still got crap in it.
Well,
not crap, but
it's not because when you drink water,
otherwise you wouldn't have a need a filtration system. Obviously,
yeah, it's just like
it is your waste. You're right. That makes sense. But why is what? So does sterile doesn't necessarily mean safe for consumption?
No, urine's not sterile. When you kept saying that, finally, that triggered the. I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Is that an old wives'?
That's an old.
Well, I found that in an article.
It's not sterile. It has bacteria in it.
Best Life Online would not lead me astray.
No, it is not sterile.
It looks like they left you astray and just left you in a ditch.
Double check it.
Well, no, I'm not double because sterile means it's free from bacteria. Your urine has bacteria in it.
But is that after immediate? I've heard that if it sits, it gains bacteria. But upon immediately coming out of your body, I didn't think it didn't.
Now, how could it gain bacteria?
Just, sitting there and bugs crawl into it.
No.
But you're getting rid of bacteria.
No, it's not sterile. Urine's not sterile. Your urine is not sterile. It's not sterile. No one's urine's sterile.
My urine's 80 proof.
Why are we talking about this? This is because the hot banter?
Yes, because about urine? It's weird.
Okay, so I'm. Okay.
Why are you in a rush?
I am actually, because this banter is odd.
And say this, and then you know what?
Some odd banter. You got to admit.
Sometimes
people like odd banter.
Sometimes,
but it is odd.
Sometimes we go on, and then you trash you ask me to say something, and then you always say, "Is this the banter?"
Well, I want to make sure this is the banter.
Are we talking about board games? Then it's the banter.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I didn't know if this was.
And I was thinking too.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we often. I after all these meta movies have come out, we've had No Way Home, Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah.
Matrix Rehash.
I think maybe I'll blame myself. Maybe I make the show too meta because I talk about the way we do the show instead of just doing the show.
Right. But you like talking about how you are meta. You are in the metaverse. You are the creator of the metaverse because
I'm Zuckerberg.
Yes, you will not allow something to be a shtick or a thing. You have to call it out and try to point out that this is a thing. All
right, I'm working on that from here on out.
The facade. You try to go. This is, and it's like everybody knows.
I'm working on it from here on out. I will no longer be meta. I will not be self-referential in any way.
But no, self-referencing. It's a self-referential.
I'm more of a self-monkey wrenching.
It's a thing that people, and you can do it. It's fine, but it's just often not very productive.
Well, and it's too inside.
Right.
Like it's not welcoming. Welcome any new listeners to the Board Game Snobs podcast. A podcast that's 90% nonsense.
People we don't have any new
games.
listeners.
Nude listeners?
Nor new ones.
We might have some nude listeners.
Oh, we don't have any. So we don't have to worry about it. We've plateaued.
That's true. Nobody listens.
The same people listen to us.
Nobody listens. The same people listen to us.
And that's all that we want.
I appreciate
we
that.
don't want anybody else. Stop rating the podcast. The 5 stars. No. Leave it alone.
You don't have to rate us. Just tell somebody.
No, don't tell anybody.
Please
listen.
The same old. We've had this fight.
Yes.
15 times.
There you go, referencing. See?
Okay.
You can't even help it. So I'm just saying, just keep.
I failed again.
So we're going to. So if you would like, we could talk about a board game
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
that is
Just
actually
kidding.
very interesting. I found for one that I was. I like the theme of it. It's
Which one?
Last Aurora.
Last Aurora.
So this game came out 2020. Ares, I believe. That's the same company who did the triple rondelle spaceship thing. What was that called? Scorpius Freighter.
Yes.
That was okay. It's okay. It was okay. I think we kind of.
Well, it's pick up deliver. That's not our game, but lots of people liked it. Not us.
Last Aurora.
Actually, I hated it.
Is a apocalyptic frozen wasteland. Basically, you're in. Looks like Montana.
Urine.
You're in Montana, drinking your urine.
You're in Montana.
With your convoy trying to hurry up and get to a boat that's leaving to get away from this horrid tundra.
Why is it frozen? Is that part of the dystopia?
Yes, dystopian. That's what most dystopians are. It's really hot or it's really cold
It's like all desert
or all frozen.
or all. Which would you prefer?
All frozen.
I think that, but depends on the exact temperature. I think all desert would be more manageable
No, here's why I say
unless
frozen.
it comes to nighttime.
Well, I feel like you would have more of a survivability in the cold
Yeah.
because you can't if you're really hot in the desert. There's
Well, how cold,
no
though?
way. No, there's no way that you can efficiently cool your body down if you're in a desert.
There's no way to warm your body up if you're in a tundra.
Make a fire.
Make a fire.
Yeah.
But here's
Buy an air conditioner.
no, it's a poke. Oh, that's my point.
Disappointment.
Yeah, there's no way to cool
Find an
off.
iced tea.
There's no way to cool off. My point is,
I understand that, but I think
now here's your point.
it depends on the extreme temperatures.
No, it doesn't. This completely negates everything you're about to say. There's no water in the tundra. There's plenty of water in the cold. That's why people can survive in the cold. There's water. You can survive a long time without any food. But when there's no snow and there's no moisture and you cannot create water,
That's a good point.
you're dead.
You make a valid point, sir. And I allow that.
And so, that's why the desert is rough.
Yeah.
But you said tundras. Tundras are actually frozen deserts.
Well, something like that, yeah. So it's like a tundra, like a frozen desert.
But you know what we meant.
Like
I got you.
I love all my.
I personally would prefer. I prefer cold to hot any
know.
day of the week,
It's 65 degrees in your house
and I
now.
love it.
You'd freeze us
Yes.
out all the
Enrique
time.
don't have no sleeves on.
And that's because you're both weirdos. But that's okay.
It's just not cold.
The Last Aurora, with this very interesting theme of having a convoy that you are trying to get and race other players to this in-game boat so that you can board it and get out of this godforsaken wasteland. And the neat thing about this is that your cards that you have, which represent your convoy, the artwork is very interesting. It connects, which I think is it creates the little card convoy, I guess you want to call it. And you're able to stack the cards on top of each other.
Cardvoy.
And add various trailers and other type of post-apocalyptic junk.
Depending upon your level of truck, your starting trucks can have up to 2 attached trailers.
There's Peterbilts.
You can have what they call triples. You can do doubles. You can't do triples. You have to have a special license for triples in this game.
No doubles.
But not after a while, when you level up, then you can start getting triples. But I was completely enamored before we go into too more detail about how the gameplay. The cards in this game are absolutely fantastic. The art is, I love this art, and I love the way the cards, the convoy pieces connect to each other. That's fantastic.
And each little card that represents your convoy that has the trucks and so forth on it and the trailers has little spots where you put your food, your ammunition, and your fuel, as well as the little meeples that represent the people on your convoy. And the people on your convoy are what you use to explore the wasteland. And so the game has 3 distinct little stages. One where you use your people to go out and explore these various areas in front of you, which is basically your explorer rating, you expend this worker
Scavenging.
and you scavenge whatever little area here, and you get certain things, you get certain items, you're able to build onto your convoy, and then you're allowed to expend fuel to move your little car around the map. And of course, like I said, it's a race. You're trying to hurry. And in our play of it, as well as the solo that I did, I didn't make it to the end.
Well,
none of us did.
You explore, you're gathering supplies, then you move, and then as the game progresses, there's these raiders that come out and they can attack you.
Yeah, there's a very interesting little combat mechanic where these other enemies come out, and defeating them, of course, gives you some loot.
Yes.
And like Gabi said, this game is it's light enough that you're not totally wiped out by trying to have to learn these finicky rules. The thing that is very frustrating is the rule book. The rule book is not that great. I highly recommend finding a watch it played video and just going that route, because I had a terrible time with this rule book. I think there's just a lot of translation, and even the BGG page of it has a lot of people asking clarifications. The board is double-sided. There's another side of it that has a different map and different areas and some extra rules. There's a solo version to it that's actually pretty good with an automa deck. I really enjoyed this game. It has that feel of kind of like Imperial Settlers, I guess, where you have your little player board and you're moving cards from the left side to the right side, which is just helping you to keep track of which workers you've used. And each of your workers have little bitty powers that help you out a little bit, plus the damage to your convoy that comes from the enemy cards. This game has the theme similar to like Wasteland Express, kind of. Of course, the component quality is much less than that.
Or what's the one that is the dystopian?
Oh, the 51st
Imperial,
States.
yes.
51st States. But the artwork,
But I like this way better.
Yes, this is a really good game. There's
more to it.
There's actually an upgrade pack that gives you little small miniatures and stuff like that. I didn't get that, but
And the card play that you use with your characters, that's thematic, because if you send them out to explore, well, they get exhausted. And once they're exhausted, well, after they're exhausted, then they got to rest. And after they're rested, then they come back into your hand. But you can fast forward that a little bit if you give them some food.
right.
So then they're not quite as exhausted. Then they just need some rest. So it skips a step. All that was very thematic. Also, when they go out to scavenge, you can give them a food and it boosts their power level. So if it's a 3, it boosts them up to a 4. There's nothing beyond a 4. If it's a 1 or 2, it boosts them up, because depending on the spot on the board that your cards are at that you're wanting to get stuff from, if it's a level 3 where this card's at, you have to have a level 3 person to get those things. That's very basic, but it's also very good, very sensible.
And what I've found about this company, Ares, this is very similar to Scorpius Freighter in the sense that they take a mechanic and they really they take an idea in a game and they don't dumb it down, but they distill it to where it's just the fundamental aspect of the game. Like Scorpius Freighter, even though we didn't like it, it was a very nice production in terms of you having your own player board. That's your spaceship. That's where you're putting your little tiles that represent your upgrades, and the rondelle actions. It was very intuitive. It's
That's
like
my boy.
It wasn't hard to understand. Last Aurora, even though the rulebook's awful, but once you have this learned, it makes perfect sense. It moves along very quickly. I'm going to use these workers, these cards. I'm going to exhaust them to get these resources or these things and add them to my convoy. Okay, now the next round. Okay, I'm going to move my convoy. I'm going to use my fuel, and this is how fast my convoy moves because of all the bonuses I have, and I'm going to move to this area. Oh, I'm getting attacked. This is what I'm going. And you just... It makes super sense. Like, you're not sitting here fighting to understand what's going on. Unfortunately, the rule book is just awful. I just keep saying that because this could have been
it was absolutely awful. Fortunately, there is I forget the name of the guy, but just search it on YouTube and there's a good explanation. The only part of this game that I did not find intuitive was the battle, though.
Well,
with the flipping of those cards, the level of the guns, the level of the attack back, and then flipping a card again to see. That was...
I did like that, actually.
Because you're not really trying to fight the bandits. You're just trying to defend yourself while you're on the go trying to get to this boat.
The combat that they did in this game could have been very easily circumvented by just having dice or something of that nature, or just a card that flips out. Instead, what they do is the players are allowed to expend one of their ammunition cubes and fire one of their weapons. And depending on how strong your weapon is, you flip a card out of this deck and it tells you how much damage your weapon does to the enemy. Makes perfect sense. Then if you don't kill that enemy, then they flip a card out. It shows how much damage they do to you. And then on the top part of the deck, it shows which area of your convoy is hit. And so it seems very odd when you're first learning how to do it, but it's very similar to the combat in, is it Austral Z, the Martin Wallace game? Where you're playing cards out and it's a card-based combat. I actually very much liked it in Last Aurora because it adds a little bit of flavor.
Well, I just, like you said, so I'm flipping one for attack. If I don't kill them, then one for their attack. And then you have to find out, you look at another card to see where they attack. And then if you do kill them, then you flip over another to see who gets the benefit. So you have potentially flipping over three or four or five cards.
You don't have to do that. You can flip over one card and I'll tell you everything. We were flipping over multiple cards.
Because we thought it was for every new enemy.
Yeah, but looking through the deal, you literally just you can flip over one card and it has it all on there. But you weren't doing it. You weren't paying attention. You weren't the one doing it. So it didn't make you any difference.
I was watching you.
But you could flip one card and it says everything on it. It literally has your attack.
It has the attack and then their attack.
And their attack. And
but
also,
what if you do the both levels? So if it's a level 1, level 2, it's on that one card.
All on that one card. It's one. You can do it where you just flip one card.
But I still don't like that. To see the damage, you look at these other cards. Then if you destroy them, then you flip it over, and it's a random draw of who gets the benefit.
Which is
if you all inflicted damage.
Yeah, which is
in a game
that is scavenging and survival, that makes sense.
In a game where there has been zero randomness other than cards, that come out that you want to purchase, that just seemed kind of weird to me.
But it's not
it seems like it should go to either the first person that attacks or whoever did the most attack points.
But you're also forgetting that everybody who committed to defeating that person gets a draw from the random loot thing, which are in-game victory points and just as valuable.
Okay, so then the one person gets they get so the card that you defeat, it becomes part of your caravan. So that's a nice bonus, and then the other people get some loot too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there are
works,
benefits.
It works out, and I mean it's done
but it is very hard to learn.
Well, it's because the rule book sucks.
Yes.
Like legitly,
as soon as
worst rule book ever.
No, you never even looked at it.
I know, but I heard you complain the whole time.
Well, yeah.
He was able to find
it is because
some things
they don't give examples of things for which they should give examples of, and they give examples of every mundane little thing, but not the most important aspects of it.
The main thing.
Like there's no example of this is how the combat works, or this is how it's just simply.
That's why I'm a YouTube guy,
and I hate watching videos where you try to.
I'm the complete opposite. Like I'd rather watch him go through it and say, okay, do this, this, and this.
It's just I guess I think I agree with both of you. Either I can watch a video or read the rule book, because if I watch a video, either I have to depend on that guy's word of his understanding of the game, or I have to look at a rule book that's either that can explain the main mechanics and main things in the game, or it's just a sucky rule book.
Yeah, I retain things better than I read.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, which is fine.
I really enjoyed Last Aurora. I'd like to play the, kind of, now that we have it down, play it again a couple more times to kind of get a better feel of it. But really did appreciate, even though the production quality of it is not bad, it's not great, but the artwork in it is very nice. I did enjoy that.
It's incredible. I really love the art in this game.
Well,
the board, the aesthetic of the board, the way they did, it's kind of like grimy. I love that. I love this. I love playing this game, even though it was super hard to figure out because of the rule book. But yeah, it's good.
I'll have to get you the minis to it.
Oh, and
Please
the back,
do.
I want to play the flip side
I want to hold those little gas cans
of
in my
this
hand.
game. I want to play the beta side.
I will say that I'm interested in playing the other side of it as well. The thing is, though, that the upgrade kit to this game, it does have little gas cans and things of that nature. And I hate games that have cubes that the colors don't make sense to me. That always gets me. And this is one of them where it's like,
What color should gas be?
well, it's exactly. What should it be? I don't know. Like a red gas can? That's what
Food. What color is food?
Well, it's orange in this. It's like
an orange.
But
yeah, a shape would be much better.
yeah, that's why there are some games that lend themselves
and different shapes at least.
to. Yeah, well, that's
These were all just cubes of different colors.
right. And so that's why
I think they went mainly with like vibrant colors or colors that were just.
well, they went with the blue and the orange thing. That's traditionally the two colors that stand out, that weird neon blue and that neon orange that you see in like The Force Awakens and all the movie posters from like the last 5 years, where they figured out those color palettes are attractive to the human eye and people like those colors. They stand out, they contrast well.
And I think I'm okay with that because it pops out of what resources what are the resources and the things that we need to gather, because if it was all the same color, then we'd be trying to look for something that we can't really see.
It can't be the same color.
No, just have all
or
nude
the same shading
cubes.
of color.
I want all the cubes nude, and just that's it. All taupe.
Just at the very least, do at least around a cube, a diamond, something. But like 51st State, they come out with, I mean, they were wooden components, but they were in the shape of a gun, in the shape of a food.
A food.
A food.
I'm hungry. Would
Give
you
me
like to
give
go
me a chicken bone.
with me to go on a food?
Give me a food.
It's like, just give me the orange cube. No, just give me the gun.
But Last Aurora seemed to like it slid under a lot of people's radar last year. I enjoyed it.
I too enjoyed it.
I've had it on my shelf for a long time, thinking, I wonder if Gabby will like this.
Loved it.
And I did not anticipate it being this good. I'd like to play it again to
I
kind
was
of
quite enamored.
hash out my thoughts on it a little bit.
What
more.
happened to the first Aurora? I need the prequel.
The prequel.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. We can still talk about, like, for instance, we played Barrage again, one of my favorite games.
I love Barrage. I remember the first time we played Barrage. We were so confused on how to play it the very first time.
It is certainly a very finicky and yet at the same time very smooth game. After multiple plays of it at different levels of player count, I must say I prefer this game with as many players as you can have. If
or,
you got four,
or at least the minimal amount of players.
you got to have 4 players.
The minimals would be 3 or 4.
Yeah, no. You gotta,
is it 3?
No, you can solo it.
No, I don't.
But what are you saying minimal?
Just like 2.
Yeah, I like it with 2. I
Or
like it
4.
with 4. I don't like it
Because-
with 3.
Because 3 is odd. Because
I
when
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all.
Yeah, because no one fought with you, though. That's the thing.
Well, no, that's just the aspect of the game that really makes it frustrating is that at 2 players,
It had the smartphone thing we discussed earlier.
Yeah,
Jerry and Enrique were fighting each other. I was doing my own thing.
right. And so if you have one person out there that's not having any conflict, they're going to run away with it. At 4 players, you just can't do it.
But is that just our style of play or my style of play? Like there might be somebody that's like, well, I'm going to get in there with them.
Well,
But that's not what I'm going to do when I see y'all fighting for crap.
well, Jerry can usually fight multiple opponents by himself, while
He's very cantankerous.
While I'm mainly just like, I gotta fight one person because I can't.
Well,
you started off siphoning off my water right off the
but
bat.
at the very first, but like,
And then I ignored you and built somewhere else.
yeah.
I think Barrage is probably one of the finest Euro games within the past several years. I hate that it was marred in such an odd production fiasco because Cranio Games just kind of dropped the ball on that. But an awesome game. And if you're looking for a very interactive, very different,
Interesting theme.
yeah, like this
Water
whole-
coming down a stream and going over dams and harvesting that water for energy. And it is an incredible game.
And using your opponent's converters to
Yeah, you can use their whatever they're called, turbines or something. I forget. Conduits.
conduit. That's what it was.
And the fact that it was it's been 2 years since we played this game. Set it up, a lot of pieces. And those excavators and those are too tiny. They're too tiny.
Well, they're purposely tiny because of the wheel that you have to turn.
But that's just so. My fat fingers are trying to pick them little pieces up.
It's just finicky almost, but it's like it's kind of overshadowed with the gameplay just a little bit.
I mean, the gameplay more than makes up for it. But upon breaking it out, and Jerry, we're like, had this game day available. We shot out, what about Mirage? We haven't played it in 2 years. Let's do it. Man, I forgot how much I love this game, even though it breaks my brain. And it is Jerry, a man not really prone to analysis paralysis. Like, that's my job or Enrique's job. That's the only negative I'd say to this is because you're really crunching numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And you're trying to figure out where to build your dam, where to build your conduit, I could see that being a downside. But if you have a regular play group, if you play it regularly, I think you could get in a good groove of what you want to do.
Because it took like me and Jerry like 2-3 tries at least to understand it. Yeah. And then
like Barrage is up there with Brass and Yokohama, all these well-respected Euro games to me, and Barrage is one of those. That
would it be on your top 20?
Oh yeah, every list I've made, Barrage has been in there. Like it is.
I'm ready to do our top 20s.
Maybe not next episode, but certainly soon. We need to do it. We need to do our year in review since we didn't do 2020 and 2021. We need to talk about the games that we played that were from that.
We'll have to combine them because we don't have much from 2021.
And then we'll do our top 20.
Okay.
All right. This is Jerry saying that this is episode went very well despite its rough patch.
Of my banter?
No, you just really brought it down with leprosy-ridden armadillos and urine pools and things.
You don't know the hours of research that went into that.
I know. Thank you, BestLife.com. Thank you.
I'm Gabi, the primary host.
This is Jerry.
This is Enrique.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.